in colouring in the daisies, it makes it so much easier because you know where to colour. So I'm just putting, because we want this actually fully to look like you've hand painted it, so put a bit of yellow in the centres. I'll just quickly show you with the poppies. I'm going to use this beautiful red because I really want it to pop. And I just paint pretty much over the top. You could use inks here and that way it would remain transparent even. You can see how that flower's really starting to pop because I'm using paint to go over it. So this just makes it a kind of a colouring in process. And I love to have a bit of red inside a daisy. So you can see how they're really, the flowers are now starting to pop, how she's starting to come out of the page. We'll get some hair on her now. And for the hair, I'm actually going to use, I've got a beautiful sepia or burnt sienna ink, and I'm going to mix a bit of the burnt sienna with some matte medium so I can still use my pencils with it. So I'll just mix it. You can see I use my paper for everything. So I'm just mixing the burnt sienna. This will end up transparent, and I'm just going to give some colour, and this will just be a base colour for her hair because I think she needs a beautiful red orangey hair to stand out from the purple background. She looks like a bit of a wild girl to me. It's funny how they take on their own personality as you start to work. So you can probably hardly see this sepia. If you can always add a few more drops if you want it to be a bit darker. But I'm really just giving it an undercoat and letting the natural flow of the ink happen. So we've gotten the flowers, and she's got a little bit of hair up here as well. Oops. Just go over that white there with a bit of yellow. And a bit of yellow through her hair. Might actually let it bleed. Still got, use up that paint you've got. Sometimes there's a reason you've got a big glob of paint still on your palette. And I'm just going to add it to the hair. I'm going to add some shadows now so that her ears don't look like they're further forward than her face. And I'm going to go through with my purple ink and just paint around these daisies to make them really pop. We sometimes forget to do these little bits, and these are the bits that really make something come alive. So by making the daisies whiter and then making the background darker, we're creating an effect where she really stands out from her background. So even around these poppies at the back here, I might use a bit of blue. And that's why I said these inks are great because they remain transparent. So those beautiful bits of stenciling that we did behind aren't lost. I'm going to make this quite dark around her so her beautiful hair is going to show through. It's really funny how you get quite an attachment to the little person that you're painting at the time. The shadow. And like I said, whatever you do to make her pop from the page. You can see those poppies are really showing up, and how easy it was to do that garland of flowers using the downloadable designs. You can now go even with a pen if you like, and once your paint's dry, and just give some of them, don't do all of them, it's a lot of work, but just give some of them that little extra line. Make sure your paint is dry when you do that though. I always put those little lines back into the daisies. You can also use your Posca pen and put some highlights in the daisies. It's all these little touches at the edge of the poppies, edge of her hair. I'm going to let her hair dry off, and then we'll just put a little bit of a liveliness there, and maybe a spot on her chin. Her chin even sticks out a little. Also, we need to darken underneath her neck a little bit. So you can see I use all mediums. I don't just use pencils, I don't just use inks. I like to use all mediums. Okay, now you can see that some of the paint has pooled in that edge. Now that would have gone on to the next page if I hadn't have done that tape. So the next part we'll do some hair and maybe some writing, and she's nearly done. I'm going to use a brown, an orange and a yellow, two different oranges in her hair. So firstly I'm going to do some shadow areas. I think the light's kind of coming from here, so some shadow areas, again to make her pop from her hair. And then I'm going to some beautiful orange, and I've got this nicely sharpened. I'm going to some wild reddy orange hair. Again, not too much technique here, just this wild colour, some brown through, so you can really see the curls. And then I'm going to use my Posca pen to do those little highlights. Okay, so to make this writing stand out a little bit more, I'm going to give it a shadow. So just using my brush pen on its angle. some more writing to the page, which has some meaning to me, going back to that beautiful card that we read earlier, and I think she's pretty much complete. She tells a story, and I'm quite happy with how she's turned out. So I'm hoping that you give a page like this a go. I'll actually do a download of the face on the as well on this page, so that you can have a look and maybe even try something similar. Okay, thank you very much. It's Lucy from Artshed Angel, and I really hope that you give these things a go and find some inspiration to really enjoy yourself with art journaling. Thanks very much. Bye.